Hello, year one. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's nice to be speaking to you again. Remember last lesson we looked at worship. I wonder if you could just tell me what we meant by the word worship. What do Christians do when they worship? Well, it means that they meet together to pray to God, to thank God, to ask for forgiveness from God, and just to be in community with each other, to be together in one place. Today we're looking at a very special event that happens in a Christian's life. And often this happens in a church on a day when there is worship. It's called baptism. So we could all say that together. I'll say baptism and then you say it. Baptism. Baptism. So it's baptism. It's quite a fun word to say. A special worship service that Christians have in a church is called a baptism. I wonder if you've been to a baptism, and you might even have been baptized yourself. Sometimes if it's done with a baby, it's called a christening. So you might very well have been christened when you were younger. You might have experienced this service, although you probably don't remember it if it happened when you were about 1 year old. But lots and lots of families baptize their children. So baptism are a special worship service. A baptism is a ceremony where someone becomes a member of the Christian community. Okay, so it's all about coming into the Christian community. It's like opening the door and walking through, and once you walk through, you are welcomed into the Christian community. A priest uses special blessed water called holy water. And what they do is they collect up some water, it usually comes from the tap, and then they bless it. So they say special prayers over it, and they make a cross with their hand, and that turns it into holy water. And this washes away the bad things a person has done that are called sins and welcomes them into Christianity. So it's what's called symbolic. It's like, yes, you're getting water washed on you, but it's not just washing away any dirt. It's washing away the bad things that people have done and welcoming them into Christianity. Sometimes when it is a baby being baptized, it's called a christening. So on the right hand side here, you can see a picture of a baby being baptized. You've got the mum and the dad and the baby, and then on the right here is the priest. And that's the person who does the baptism. And he's picked up a little cup of water from what's called a font, and he's poured it over the head, and he says, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, which are the three parts of God for Christians. And so that's really a very, very common ceremony. But now Christians believe that baby, if they choose to be, especially when they grow up, is part of the Christian community. So just to recap that slide, because there's quite a lot of information to take in there. A baptism is a ceremony using special holy water to welcome someone into the Christian community. So it can be done with babies, and this is what we looked at on the last slide. Here's a priest on the left-hand side. Oh, where am I? Left-hand side there. And then mum and dad above here, and the baby you can see is having that special holy water poured onto their forehead. Or it can be done with adults. So this is in a city called York, and one of the priests here is called John Sentamu, and he's a very important person in the Church of England. And he, instead of just pouring water on the forehead, when it's done with adults, they fill a pool with water and they dunk them under the water and bring them back up, and that represents washing away all of the bad things, washing away the sin and making them clean and new as Christians. It's really quite an impressive thing to watch. Sometimes it's in a pool, sometimes churches will have like a special, almost like a swimming pool that they fill up with holy water, or sometimes you can go to a river and have this done in a river. It depends on which church you're looking at. So the holy water is usually kept in a special bowl, which is called a font. And you can see that over here. This is a font, and you'll see one of these in almost every church that you go into. It contains holy water that's been blessed, ready for baptism. Christians see baptism as a kind of holy bath. They say the holy water, which carries the special power of God, washes away all your previous sins, bad things, and lets the person start fresh. So you could think of it like a religious bath. They do believe it washes away the bad things and it gives that person a fresh start. And you could have that done when you're a baby or when you're an adult. That's very kind of interesting ceremony. You don't get a lot of ceremonies like this in other religions. It's quite a unique thing to Christianity. So today's task is quite a nice task. You've got space here at the bottom of your booklet page, and what you need to do on that page is draw a picture that shows what happens during a baptism, and you need to label it. So you could go back to either of the last two slides and have a look and maybe copy out what's happening. So you could draw a mum and a dad, a baby and a priest, or you could draw a priest and an adult in a swimming pool kind of arrangement getting baptized, and then just say, well, this is the font and this is the holy water and this is the priest, so that we know what's happening in this picture. So just to recap, baptism is a kind of holy bath. Is that a very good way to describe it? Kind of. It's a kind of holy bath. It's a washing away of bad things that someone has done, a starting afresh and welcoming that person into the Christian community. And that could be when you're a baby and your parents choose for you to be baptized, or it can be when you're an adult and you choose yourself to be baptized. Good. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Next lesson, we're going to do a recap of what we've looked at this half term to try and help us remember everything that we've done, because year one, we've done a lot this half term. And it's really impressive if you've been able to remember what's happened from lesson to lesson. You probably know more about Christianity now than a lot of year ones do at your stage, and that's amazing. So well done. Really good, hard work you've done this half term. And next lesson we'll recap, and I'll see you then. Have a wonderful weekend and speak to you soon. Bye bye.